What the is going on?
I like to party.
Jesus, honey, wax much?
From Podcast 1, this is Unwaxed.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
With Sophia and Sistine Stallone.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup!
Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of the Unwaxed podcast with your host,
Sophia
and Sistine Stallone. We are really excited that this is finally happening.
This has been a long time in the making, and it's here.
Yeah, I feel like before we get into it, actually, love to give a little shout out to producer Will, who is gonna sort of pop in every once in a while, give some male perspective.
Yeah, unsolicited male advice.
Yes, we love it. So
Great.
if you hear that mysterious man coming in, that's Will. No, we're really excited to be here. This has been a very long time in the making. Mm-hmm. Everyone's doing a podcast. We thought, hop on that bandwagon.
Yeah, everyone's doing it, so why not join the chaos with it? And I think it's also COVID has given us a good amount of time to actually develop this, really write good content, and I think it's just, it doesn't even seem real right now that we've come together.
Yeah, and I think, you know, with staying at home in the pandemic, it's a very scary time. We thought this podcast would be really fun just to get your mind off of it. You come here for a good laugh. We're here to learn with you guys, bring on exciting new guests every week. It's going to be a new topic, new subject. It's always going to be kind of all over the place. But
from sex to dating to business to
maybe we'll bring on
health.
a wizard.
A wizard. Why not? Sistine's been really adamant about getting a wizard on here, so hopefully we get that. But I actually think it'd be good to kind of right off the bat, we should introduce each other. I was going to say let's introduce me and you do you, but I think I'll introduce who you are.
All right, do it.
So this is my sister Sistine. She's AKA T-Bird, AKA Tina. She has a lot of names. She is, I would say people are intimidated with you on the outside, but when you get to meet you, you're just super cool right off the bat. You're hilarious. You have dry humor. You're easy as shit to hang out with. Everyone loves you when you first meet you, but you're also brutally honest. But you have the biggest heart ever. She lets in all the stray dogs, cough, her exes, that doesn't deserve her love. But you can.
We're starting early with that.
Oh, we are going to start off early, and you can either find her at the gym finishing her 2-hour strength training workout, or in the cooking, or in the kitchen cooking her scones that have 1/4 cup of sugar.
Sophia. That is quite the introduction.
Guns blazing already. Coming
Oh
in
my
hot.
God, coming in hot.
I know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, if I was going to introduce you, what would I say? And I think that pretty much sums you up.
Pretty much sums it up. You forgot to mention I'm 22.
Oh, she is 20. Why?
I'm 22, but it's fine. So I'll introduce you, I guess.
Go
Sophia,
ahead.
you're turning 20.
Turning 24.
On
the 27th, baby.
Yeah, we should have a birthday episode.
Did you ask if I turned 25?
Sorry. I would say Sophia, in our relationship, she's definitely an overbearing mom, and she will give her opinion, which is so brutal and sometimes mean, and you don't want to hear it, but it's the right one, and she's always right. She has the best gut instinct intuition. She says that she's funny, but she's kind of not funny. So if she says a joke, maybe just laugh. Will help her out sometimes, you know.
You know
yeah,
what?
Thank you. Yeah, that was perfect.
I take it back.
No, let me finish. Sophia is definitely a great person in a relationship. How she is in life, she kind of puts into the friendships and relationships, and with every aspect of your life. You're so kind. She's a bookworm. She is nurturing. She's like Mama Bear, and we think that's why this podcast is going to be so much fun, because yes, we're sisters. We look alike, but we could not be more different of people. Totally. It's like the yin and the yang, the devil and the angel on your shoulder.
Oh, yeah. You should even see the ways that we come downstairs when we dress. I'm usually in a little white frilly dress with heels, and Sistine comes in with a black crop top and this crazy choker.
I look like 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, like a dominatrix, and I look like I'm going to church. So it's sweet. It's a good hot cold yin yang.
You know, we're really excited to learn and grow with you guys and talk to you, and that's definitely what I want to do with this podcast. I haven't really used any of my social media platforms to reach out or talk to people. So slide in the DMs. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to try to answer as many of you as I can. If you have questions, if you have advice that you want us to answer, we were going to try to thinking of, doing an unsolicited advice segment.
Yeah.
So write in. Even if you just want to say, hi, I'm lonely. Hi, me too.
Call in and we'll talk to you if you're lonely. We'll give you some little tea. But I wanted to also do our social plugs, so where you can find us. So before we get started in the episode, make sure you subscribe to follow us on Unwaxed Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where you can watch us, not only just listen to us, you get to see our faces. Rate us, review us. Nice. Please don't be mean. Please give us all the good ones. You can follow us on our socials and Unwaxed Social at Unwaxed on Instagram and Twitter. And of course, you can find me and Sistine on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, just Sistine Stallone and Sophia Stallone. That was a long one. I was probably the one I was worried about because I know we have to do all those plugs in. I'm like,
I know.
No one wants to hear them all the time, so you just get it out there.
So I'm really excited for today's episode and today's guest. I'll give you guys a little teaser right now. We are going to do a breakup boot camp for you guys. This is something Sophia's really bad at, breaking up. I'm extremely bad at is breaking up. So our guest is going to hopefully drop some knowledge, some wisdom on us. So lace up your boots, zip up your jacket. We're going into battle.
We got our energy drinks in hand.
We're ready to go. Let's bring her on. Okay, you guys, we are back with a very special guest. I would say she's probably the living version of what it means to be unwaxed in the way that she is real. No. Wait. I know. I hope you are unwaxed. I really do down there. This is what I mean.
She's just like,
you're so
wrong.
And that, I mean, you're 100% yourself. You're real. You're all natural on your platforms. You are a blogger, the Russian meme queen, and the genius behind the account Daddy Issues, which has over, 4.3 million?
Yes.
Subtle flex,
Damn.
no problem. And you have the hilarious podcast, Too Tired to Be Crazy. We have Violet Benson.
Who is killing the hair game today, and we are definitely jealous that we didn't think of it first.
First of all, I'm not killing the hair game. Second of all, I couldn't start. I couldn't help but start laughing when you're like unwaxed. I was like, when have you seen my vagina? I don't know what you're talking about.
I went into a Google rabbit hole, so I found some.
First of all, I'm lasered. Second
Let's
of
go,
all,
laser. We love laser.
It's not working for me, though. Everything's growing back. I don't know if I'm consistent enough, though.
Oh, that happens to me, too. But, when the hair grows back after you've been lasered forever ago, it's still really thin. So it's just so easy to get rid of.
That's true. But,
it just hurts. It just hurts.
So, yes, I'm so excited to be on this unwaxed as an unwaxed gal.
Unwaxed ladies.
Show.
Perfect. Just lasered.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm so excited. You guys are also going to be on my podcast. So this is going to be really fun.
We're doing some
super
fun
excited.
crossover.
So right now I feel like Sophia and I constantly go back and forth with the idea that being in a relationship during quarantine is kind of the move.
Yeah.
Are you currently single?
I'm currently 100% single. I feel like I haven't dated anyone in 2 weeks. So that's
Love that
kind
for
of
you.
a record.
Wait, but how do
how
you
do you-
date? What does that mean for you for dating? Is this long term? Is this a month fling?
I feel like it's weird because I'm so loyal. So I'll talk about being loyal. So when I do really like somebody, I'm 100% into them. But then I'm so extreme. I feel like everything I've done with my personality is so extra. It's even when it comes to dating, I don't know how to do it normally. So it's either I'm only dating one person, I'm obsessed with them, and I'm like, you're my person. They're like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, yes, you are. Hello.
Love me.
Love me. And so it's either that or it's completely opposite. I'm dating talking to 6 guys at the same time. I can't keep up with their stories. I genuinely don't care. They all send me flowers. I don't even touch them. Then I
feel like you sound like me right now.
I will ghost them. It's and I'm like, I don't get
What's
why
your
I do.
favorite kind of relationship? The one type of dude you're talking to?
Or the ton.
Or the 6 at a time?
I prefer talking to one guy at a time. I don't have the time to talk to a bunch of other guys. And it's always there's always that one guy you like the most. And then you're just damn, I hate that I have to talk to these other 5 guys because I don't even care about them. But it's you have to talk to all of them so you don't get too obsessive over that one guy that you like.
That's so
That's
interesting.
so true.
I've never thought about it that way.
I mean, I'm single now. I'm kind of getting over the fact that I've been single for so long, and I only want a boyfriend just to drive me to my eye appointments because I'm a horrible driver. Do you want a boyfriend right now, or are you just kind of I like just being single and talking to a bunch of guys? Especially during
I'm
quarantine.
not even talking to any guys right now.
Right now, no one.
0.
And how is that?
Honestly, I'm so busy with work that I don't care, but it's also been 2 weeks. So, so I'm sure if I got bored enough, there's somebody to talk to. But I actually was thinking of the same thing with a quarantine and dating. I couldn't tell if that's like a plus for people, if I should be jealous of somebody that has a boyfriend, or if I should be like relieved that I don't have that. Because I was thinking like I saw some girls who got boyfriends during quarantine. I was just like, oh, they're so lucky. Like that guy has to stay around now. Like at this point he can't leave because there's nowhere to go. He's so lucky. Like I'm so jealous. Like of course they're together. And then I'm like, but would I really want somebody to only be with me because there's nothing better going on?
Because they're like, I would rather not have, and especially when people get broken up with during quarantine, it's literally saying, I don't want, not just you, I just don't want anybody. Like, I don't want it someone else, I don't want you. Like, especially during quarantine, because it's like you're alone.
You also feel like maybe you have to settle because there is no other option. And normally you wouldn't pursue that person. But I do want to ask you, because we are doing a breakup boot camp episode. Because I'm terrible at breaking up. I know Sophia is terrible at breaking up. I would love to know how you are. Maybe you could give us some insight, some knowledge. And like what's your process? And I know it's different for, you know, a year relationship versus like a 2-month relationship, but maybe middle ground. Like how do you break up with someone?
Well, I'm really bad at breaking up.
Oh God!
So, like,
no one could help anyone here.
So like me dumping somebody. No, I'm saying going through the breakup like afterwards, dealing with it and loving yourself again. I'm great at that. But I feel like as much as I give advice on breakups, I feel like I'm really bad at breaking up with somebody. Okay. Like I almost sometimes rather somebody dump me than me dump them.
I absolutely agree with that, because for me, she's been with me a couple times from my breakups, and I don't think I'm able to actually get the words out. And by the end of the hour discussion, they're like, I really just didn't understand one word because you were stuttering.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
I almost wish they just cheated on me so I had a legitimate reason.
Or I'll break up with you 3 months ago. And so by the time I come up to you and talk to you, I'm almost so blank and so calm that they're like, you're a psychopath. Because you have no emotion with it.
I wish I could be like that. I feel
it's a Virgo thing. I'm like really good at being practical and putting things in boxes.
I'm not.
See, I don't get emotional with them. Like I'm either super over emotional or like dead, like cold.
See, I'm jealous of people who can break up and mean it. I feel like first I'm upset, and because I'm so bad at communicating, instead of being like, oh, we're fighting. Because I feel like a lot of times when it comes to relationships, we haven't been trained well as we're trained with like subjects in school. I
totally agree.
Yeah.
So then when it comes to breakups, I sometimes don't know how to communicate my emotions. So then when I still want the person, instead of being like, hey, I'm hurting right now and this is upset, can we communicate about what's making you upset? I have no words, and I feel like I just get so wrapped up, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to do this. And I don't mean it. I'm just saying what I'm really trying to say is like, I'm hurt. Right. Come to my rescue and talk to me. But really what I'm saying is, I don't want to do this. Done. And the other person hears me saying, we're broken up. But I don't mean we're broken up.
How many times within a relationship do you think you've like not broken up with someone?
So many times. Unfortunately, the other person now this way just give up after the second time. Yeah. They're like, bye. Right, and I'm like, what do you mean?
I still love you. Together. You'll text them the next day being like, are you good?
Me. And I'm trying to work through that. Like it hasn't fully changed. Like as much as I think I change, I sometimes go back to my old ways, and then I feel so bad about myself, and I'm like really hard on myself for acting this way. But then in my head I'm like, well, you know what? It just wasn't my person then.
Well, do you feel bad about yourself like during the relationship because you feel guilty about breaking up with him, or do you feel bad about yourself post-relationship?
I think I always feel bad about myself post-relationship.
That's like me.
But like a lot of the time you're also not with the right people. Mm-hmm. But I get conflicted in my brain, because one part of me wants to be like, well, I wouldn't feel so bad about myself, and I wouldn't feel all these emotions and anger if this was during the relationship, if we were supposed to be together. Right. But then the other part of me is like, well, how do you know? Like, if you guys just communicated and you didn't have to do all this, so maybe that person would have been your person. So it's just like a fight in my brain between the two.
Have you ever dated someone that really did not do anything wrong, and then you were just like, I'm really not into this? And how do you break up with someone that you have absolutely nothing bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just not feeling it. I know that's a hard thing. I hate those because they're so nice. And I just had to do that. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you. I just don't want to be with you right now.
And it's like, not you, boo.
I feel like, and this is what's happened to other people, so I can give the best explanation. Sometimes when somebody doesn't want to be with you ever seen in movies when somebody's like crying and upset, and then they say like, why are you mad at me? You're the one that broke my heart. It's this weird thing where like that's happened to me before, where I look, if a person can't let me go and I'm I don't want to tell them that I'm not into them, I'll start to get mad and angry because I'm just like, dude, stop. Like, why do you even still like me? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel bad about that, but I feel like the way I've been able to let men easy by me not wanting to be with them has been either, so far the best excuse in my opinion during quarantine has been, I feel like I'm just too depressed to date. Because, like, no one can be mad at you.
I
said that.
I use that exact one. I said, it's not me. No, it's not you. It's me. I'm just so emotionally fucked up. I put it all on myself, even though I don't really think that.
Well, even sometimes.
And then I also blame
that,
COVID.
Though. But sometimes it is that. I know for me, at one point, I was like, I'm just not at my best. And I know if I'm with you, I'm just going to make you feel like shit more. Because I'm putting all my problems onto you. And it's almost like you're self-sacrificing. They're like, but I want to help you.
Yeah, and you're just
like,
I don't. Why can't we do this together?
Like, I want to be alone and do this because I know that it's almost better if I do it on my own by this point.
Yeah, but I feel like, but I also would like to point out that I am somebody that has battled with depression, anxiety, clinical depression, anxiety. So it's not like I'm using mental health as a joke. It's not like that, but it's the truth. Like, because a lot of times when you break up with somebody or you tell somebody you don't want to date them, you end up being the bad guy. But like, who's gonna get mad at you if you're literally like, bro, I'm fucking depressed. It's quarantine.
No,
I'm
it's
really
true.
depressed. Like, no one's gonna be like, oh, she sucks. It's like, oh yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
No,
like,
I was going through major anxiety at the time that it happened, and he knew that, and I'm like, I can't control my thoughts because of, you're not doing anything wrong, but this is just at this moment, it's going in a spiral, and I need to get like my own help. And are you that person that you need to be almost alone and have your own support team to get to that better place, or do you think you can have a boyfriend with you during that time? Like, are you better alone or like?
I think I can be both. I think when I was younger, I'm still getting through, like, I'm still working on myself where to not need somebody to save me, because I feel like in the back of my head, like, it is this thing that I secretly always wish that there's like somebody to always be there to save me. Hence, I feel like that's where my daddy issues can come from, where I need that man to make me better. But then I feel like as I've gotten older, I'm realizing like, oh, I can make myself better, and I'm just like looking for a partner not to complete me, to just be by my side. So I feel like it's really different. So that's why if I don't feel like I'm at my best now, I can't date anyone. Because I just like, I want to, because if you're not your best, you end up dating people who are a reflection of you. So totally they're not their best.
Yeah, you have to own your worth. If you don't think you're worth that great guy, and you just think of yourself as worthless, you're not going to choose that better person.
When did you ever have a point of realization when you thought, okay, I really don't need this person to rely on? Because I always find myself constantly searching for validation through the men that I date. Like, I never thought I was pretty until they say, oh, you look pretty. Or I was constantly changing for them. So if this person really likes an edgy girl with like pink hair, like I would dye my hair pink for them. Or if he's like, I think nipple piercings are hot, I was like, do I really am about to get a like, it's just so stupid looking, like saying it out loud, it's really so dumb.
It's like, okay.
It's so dumb. So you said that you've grown to not have to do that and feel that way anymore. How did you do that?
Well, I feel like it's a process, and you can still backtrack. That's the thing about self-growth, and you just have to accept that and be okay with it. I mean, there's still moments in my brain where I feel like I do have that weird need, because my dad always, one thing growing up with my father is that my sister and I would compete with each other, and she was always better at everything because she's older. So my dad would always tell my sister how like smart she is and how much she's going to succeed, and my dad always just told me, I'm pretty. So I feel like in a weird way that started to, like, I feel like I've worn makeup around my dad until like my early 20s. Like, every time I would see my dad, I would just be like, oh, I want to be beautiful for my father. And I didn't realize how subconsciously was going into my relationships too. So like at one point, like I had this on and off boyfriend for like 7 years. And I kid you not, whatever moments that we were together, doesn't matter how long we're together, I would then shave my whole body every single day, because like I need to be fully smooth for him. Like, I always have to be beautiful, and like no matter what I did, it wasn't enough because he was still cheating on me all the time. So then it's like
you've had this constant pressure to be perfect in what they deem is perfect,
and it was never like about what I need or my emotional self. And I feel like, as again, like in a weird way, like daddy issues really helped me find myself. And then also even my Too Tired to Be Crazy podcast, it's like a therapy for me, because a lot of times when I listen to the advice I give my the followers or the guests or whatever, I'm actually giving the advice to myself. So it's been like a whole journey of self-growth. So people, whoever is listening right now, they shouldn't be hard on themselves, because they can't expect, like, no one, no matter how, even like Gandhi, he didn't wake up every day loving himself. Like it's still you can wake up and you can hate yourself that day, and the next day you wake up and just as long as you know tomorrow's a new day and you're gonna try again. So I feel like with men, it took me a while to be like, okay, what do I want? What about me? And I noticed that like I just feel silly because I noticed that a lot of these times where I just want to be beautiful, these men, suddenly I have to backtrack and be like, wait. Are they even good enough to be my boyfriend? Like, why am I so focused on how I can make them be, like, how I can be their perfect girlfriend? Like, are they even good enough for me? And the minute I take a step back and I try to see, then I'm like, wait, that guy's not even good enough for me.
Right.
Like, why do we even care?
Mm-hmm. And even if your friends are telling you that, they're like, that guy's not worth it. That guy's
know it.
And
You don't know anything.
You're blind. You're blind. And then you have to seriously realize that to yourself. And then you can't convince anybody to see what you can't see until you are able to admit it.
I had a guy that I dated that, like, I had a guy that I dated. It was beginning of the year. Like, so quarantine has helped me, like, find myself. I had a guy that I dated, and, like, my friends forced me to write a pros and cons list about him because he was, like, that terrible. Like, just not as a person, just for me as a boyfriend.
Not to rationalize it, yeah.
The cons was, like, a page and a half, and then the pros was, like, 5 lines, and the pros were like, he drives me around. I don't like driving.
That was literally always my number one, just to drive me.
He's nice to me. He compliments me, and I really like that. He likes to be home a lot, just like me. Some like those were like the pros, and the cons were like, my dad cried when he found out we're dating. Like he can't get his penis up. He has a we're not having sex.
Problem. That is
we're
a
not
con.
having sex. He's an ex-drug addict. He doesn't have a job. He still lives at home. Like all of this, and then I wrote the list. You know, listen to my friends. The next day, I texted the guy a paragraph about why he's my person. And then he was like, I am not.
Oh,
Wait. So after you see it in writing, you still think, oh, it's a good, you know what? But I don't fault you for that because I am the same way. I will constantly be making excuses for these men. And I'm like, oh, you know, you are hooking up with this other girl because I kind of complimented her butt and I made it look cute, so that was basically my fault. I apologize when I break up with people, even though it's their. I'm like, no, it's not me, it's you. And so I completely agree with where you're coming from.
Yeah, so I feel like from that, the beginning of the year, but I was also in a low place mentally, and that's why I was attracting somebody else that wasn't on my level.
Right.
Now I finally reworked on myself, like we're in the middle of the year or towards the end, and suddenly now when I've dated other guys, they literally, no one's even touching me. We're going on a first date. I don't even kiss on the first date. They're sending me bouquets of flowers.
We have this argument because I am always like the one that I liked to, but now I've stopped doing it because she told me to stop doing that.
Kissing is fine, but I think like the more I'm learning is like holding off on sex is probably better. As much as like I want to say, tell girls like bang whenever you want.
Own it, whatever you
actually
do.
like you just get so like confused after you sleep with somebody, even if you're not an attached person. It's your body, like hormones for women. It's a physical thing.
Isn't it a thing when women have sex, you release something that becomes more attached to that person, and then guys are the complete opposite.
Yeah, guys see things clearly after they have sex.
Post nut clarity.
Yeah, so that should be in the title of the episode. Yeah. So yeah, now it's like the guys, they send me bouquets of flowers and all that, and I'm just really confident. They always love how confident I am. And now it's more me looking really quick like, wait, hold on. Do we share values? Like at this point, it's not like, well, he's nice to me. He compliments me. Fuck the compliments. I can compliment myself.
Right.
Do we share the same values? Oh, wait, me and this guy, like I believe in God and I want a guy that I'm dating that believes in God too. And I used to think that was silly, but now I'm like, why can't I just find somebody
Why
I
would
want?
you have to
like,
change your standards and your beliefs for someone else?
just to love me? It's silly. It's so
Amen.
silly. That, yeah.
So taking it back a little bit, just because I want to sort of go back to composing a breakup, because we all agree we're not good at it. Are you the type of girl that does it via text, on the phone, FaceTime, in person? What's the easiest for you, and what's also the worst one you've done?
Okay, the best is... Okay, so if I'm giving advice to girls about boys being trash and how they should break up with them, I would tell girls, a man should break up with you face-to-face. Especially if you guys have been together for a long time. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but that is the gentleman thing to do. If he does it FaceTime because you can't see each other, that makes sense too. If it's via text, he's trash for doing that. A man shouldn't do that. Right. That's trash.
I agree.
Okay, now
she's like, I've had
Tell me, Violet.
Now as a woman, like I feel like it's double standards here. you need to do what you need to do to get through the breakup. So
Whatever's
We're
the
sending you a
easiest.
Snapchat message.
yeah, whatever's
Swipe
the
on that.
easiest for you, like that's what you needed to do to heal, baby girl. And like
Send
I
a
got your
meme.
back.
Send a GIF. It doesn't
We
have
are
to be your
here
words.
for you.
Yeah,
Anything that's
that's the
easiest.
difference for girls and boys. So like, so that's what I would say. So yeah, with the girl, it's just so awkward for me to do a breakup. But like
It is
also
awkward.
all the guys I've broken up with has only been men I've dated for like 2 weeks. So that's why
Right.
I'm sure if I can go back in my real breakup with somebody of a couple of years, then yeah, I would probably want to do it face to face. But I can't relate because I usually was the one to get dumped. Because I would just stick around forever. Because I'd be like, no, we can make this work. Because I needed to be loved.
So you're someone
Yeah.
that likes to give second, third, fourth, fifth chances.
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to, not now.
Okay.
But now, when I see somebody's not compatible with me, it usually tends to be in a text, which is not the best way. But like we haven't gone out for long enough,
Yeah.
and I'm overly honest. So the text is the only way I can probably spare their
Yeah.
feelings.
I think it is really dependent on how long you've been going out
Yeah.
with the person. Because I know that when I was going out with someone for like 2 years, the first time I did it, it was over the phone, and it was really
Yeah, that was
bad. It was
dirty.
really dirty, and I apologized. After I saw him face to face, I was like, I am so sorry for that. He
but
was like, that
sometimes
was
it's
really
hard
shitty.
to face the music in the moment.
And but I do have to say, it almost softened the blow in a way because I already knew what I was getting into, and he kind of knew what was coming up. So I guess there was a preparing for that. But if you've been talking to someone for like a month or a couple weeks, I don't think you don't really need to be face to face, like over coffee, going, "Hey, I don't have any deep emotions for you anymore. Like this isn't gonna work out." Like, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. I have a hard time like doing that because like recently I tried to break up, quote unquote, break up with somebody we dated for like 2 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks, and like it was in a text. And I feel like I was just trying to say, like, I just feel like I need to focus on work. I'm not looking for anything right now. And then I felt so bad that I continued our quote unquote friendship. So then it felt like I had to break up with him a few times in person. So then I feel like in the way that didn't help anyone because I just kept breaking up with him because I wanted to spare his feelings. So
I feel like over time, whether you're getting dumped or you're doing the dumping, as cliche as it sounds, it's sort of a learning experience every time, and you find out more about yourself, more about what you like, what you don't like, what you need, etc. I want to take it up a notch. All right.
Okay.
Hypothetical. We just broke up with our boyfriends, right? Like we
did.
we
actually did.
Like we're all saying people. No, so we just broke up with our boyfriends. What are your thoughts on rebound sex or breakup sex or makeup sex?
It depends the kind of person that you are. So I personally can't do breakup sex, like a rebound sex, because I just get attached. So the minute the guy's inside of me, I'm like, I love you. We should do this.
While on top, you're saying it. You're just like,
He
I love
inserts
you.
it in, like it's about the tip is about to go in, and I'm like, I love you.
It, like
Are we together?
Each inch is I love you.
Literally,
boyfriends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to meet my parents?
Pancake wants
is
to
it
meet
too
you.
soon?
You're like, I already chose the ring.
Yeah, is this weird for us? Like, what's happening?
Like,
Like,
so
what are we?
When's the house? When are we gonna go? When's the
Literally.
dog? Yeah.
So I can't do, and that's why I've never really done the rebound sex. There's literally like only. So I haven't. I'm not like as like even though my daddy issues and all that. Like I'm just not as promiscuous. Like I usually just date guys. So I've only had like one type of like a rebound sex person, and I've treated him shitty. So I think what people don't realize a lot of the time that when you're rebounding, we don't even really think about the other person. So either we get too attached to that person, and then we're trying to do a fast, like a 2.0 relationship that's really fast, and that's why it starts really fast and ends really fast.
Yeah.
Or we end up taking all of our hate feelings that we're experiencing through the breakup, and we take it on that person. They don't deserve it.
Totally.
Because we're not really thinking about our rebound as like a person with feelings. So as long as like if you're able to just have this clean sex and like not involve any emotions of hate or love into it, like good for you.
Go
Like
at
you're
it.
amazing. I can't do it. So that's why I know better than to do it.
So you're not the
same
type
way.
of person to
No,
get back
I
with
think
her
you need to
ex.
heal. And
Yeah.
I've talked about in one of my episodes recently with Demi Burnett about, I think, reasons we date toxic people. And I explain how, unfortunately, people don't realize that when we physically get hurt, let's say you fall and you scrape your elbow, you fall and like in my example was like you fall and you scrape your knee and your knee's bleeding and you're gonna, or like it's broken, whatever it is, you're gonna need to allow your bones to heal and to grow back to what it is. So you're not gonna be doing more running. You're not gonna be joining volleyball with your friends. You're gonna be home helping your bones heal. And unfortunately, we don't do the same thing with our emotional selves.
No, it's true.
So like when your heart breaks, like we don't think like, oh shit, like I have to just take care of my heart right now, which means I'm either gonna stay home and watch that movie so I can cry, because crying releases stress hormones. Or like, how else I'm going to be kind to myself instead of telling myself that it's my fault we went through a breakup, or like I'm a terrible person. I'm going to be kind to myself. Instead of going and jumping into another relationship and jumping into toxic things, I'm going to avoid that, because it's up to me to heal myself, to feel whole before I go back to another relationship. So unfortunately, we just don't grow up in school or in general thinking that our emotional selves are just as important as our physical selves. And they are.
And it's absolutely. And I feel like a lot of girls struggle with the post-breakup of how to approach it, because I feel like they either go out with their friends, almost repress everything for a couple months, and they don't even realize how hurt they are, and then they end up getting into like worse situations, or like worse friendships. Or
I'm the type of person where when I break up with someone that I really did like, I will internalize it. I won't tell my family about it. I won't cry about it. I'll sweep it under the rug. Eventually the rug will go so high that I trip 6 months later and explode about my favorite almond milk running out. And they're like, why are you crying about literal spilled milk?
Oh my God, you're just, I'm literally like that, and I'm trying to go through it. But like recently I've been so busy with work, but like this boy couldn't hurt my feelings. And I was just like, whatever, I don't care. Done with him. Stop talking to him, like cold turkey, because that's how I do it. And literally like 2 weeks later, out of nowhere, I just like, I'm like getting ready for something, and I just start bawling, and I'm like, what's happening? Like I have no idea. It's like, oh right, because I didn't take care of my emotional self the way I should have. And like before, I had my makeup ready and everything. I was about to film something, and my makeup was like running down because I'm crying and I can't stop. And it was because, oh my God, my emotions are finally hitting, because I was rejected by a guy I really liked.
Or you run into them. And I know for me, one time I ran into the guy that I was
Can you
dating.
imagine? That's happened to me too.
And I repressed it. I was like, I'm out good. I'm like feeling good. I think I lost too much like weight because I was sad. Like, but I thought it was like because I'm eating healthy. I don't know what it was. Obviously, it was the opposite. But I saw him out, and then all of a sudden, boom, hit. And then I started crying while I was at that place. I'm like, okay, obviously I need to go home, take a bath, really think through some things.
Put a little bubble in it.
That happened to me in Halloween. There was some guy, another guy, whatever. I like so many guys. That happened to me on Halloween. Like, there was a guy that I liked, and like I thought we ran into each other, and I was like, oh, he's going to see me looking really hot, blah, blah. And he ended up talking. He wanted to talk about some other girl, and I was just like, it's okay, like we're friends, we can be friends, like you can tell me about it. And then he talks about this other girl, how amazing she is, and I was just like, how dare you?
Also, what a dumbass for like even thinking that he should have told you in the first place.
So mean. And I was just like, I'll be right back. I went to the bathroom and I started crying.
What were you dressed up as? Hopefully it was hot.
I don't remember, but like everyone's knocking on the door trying to get in, and I'm like, not now. And I'm bawling. Then God. I clean my makeup, redo it, and then I just walk out of the bathroom like everything's fine.
No one has to know.
No, it never happened.
I continued partying.
That is honestly the worst thing for me, because I'm out of sight, out of mind kind of girl. I can't see my ex. I can't follow him anymore. I can't get his number. So I have do not disturb on. I have mute on. I have all of that on. Do you ever maybe dive into the Finsta, look at an ex, see what he's up to?
Because I know I have a fake Instagram and I stalk hard.
Oh my God. I stalk so hard that when I finish going through my breakup, because I have a Finsta, when I finish going through my breakup, you know what accidentally ends up happening, which is my friends tell me that it's not normal, and they always make fun of me for this. I end up getting over the guy I dated, and I fall in love in a weird fall in love way with the new girl they're dating. So then I end up rooting for her, which is so weird. But I end up being like,
me more about that.
I just get so happy for her, and then I'm just like, oh, I hope she finds someone better. Like first it's like, oh, they're not gonna work out, and it's like tee hee 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 hee, and then it's like, you know. But then something changes, and I'm like, oh, she's so beautiful. Of course,
do you ever develop a friendship with that girl?
A lot of the time.
Oh my God.
Does the boyfriend know?
I'm literally friends with like
all your exes.
A lot of guys that I've dated. Like I'm friends with girls that they've dated, but I still, in a weird way, have no problem sometimes going back to that person too.
Interesting.
Which is really kind of makes it.
But can I say it's better than the opposite, because there is nothing worse than girls being rude to other girls for dating someone they used to date in the past. Because I know that I've had so many friends be like, oh, she's such a bitch. I'm like, oh, wait, no, she's kind of pretty and kind of nice. Like, I don't think she deserves it. I don't have a problem with her. It's just, and that's another sign, like, you need to get over him, or there's an insecurity there. But I mean, that's positive that you're getting to befriend them. I mean, maybe it's not like the best
some might
thing,
be friends,
but
some might be friend, but then it becomes like it's not even about the guy anymore. Like obviously, again,
Right.
if I dated somebody for years on years, that's probably different for me. I'm talking about like flings. You date a guy for like a month or 2 months, 3 months. Like let's be honest, that's what happens these days.
right.
So yeah, first it's like I'm stalking the relationship and I hate him, but then I like weirdly fall in love with the girl in the way that I'm rooting for her, and then I just think she's like the most beautiful thing ever. My friends always like, she's whatever. I'm like, shut up, she deserves the best. And then I just
You're, like, defending
continuously
this girl.
Your friends
then-
are like, what the fuck?
yeah, I weirdly keep stalking the girl and I forget about the guy, and then eventually I obsess over a new guy, so then I forget about her. But like okay, one time, this is so crazy. One time I was like, stopped dating with this guy who was literally a sociopath. Like he's the one of the few. Usually I can say nothing but good things about people I've dated in the past, even
Yeah.
if I don't feel it. Like I think it's important
I think
to
it's
be
mature to have
Yeah.
a positive outlook.
But
on
there's
it.
this one specific guy that I genuinely think he was hurting so much inside that he's like kind of a sociopath. That he's like the only person sometimes I bring up randomly and I say that he has a micro penis, which he did. But like
So
that's
unfortunate.
that's why he's probably so angry all the time. But like the point is that he like fucked up my head so much when we stopped talking because it didn't even make sense, and he was so like up and down that it took me a second to pick myself back up after it, because all of his emotions, like I took them.
You
all the time.
internalized them.
Yeah, he had so
Yeah.
many emotions. I kept taking them. Anyway, the point is that at one point, as we were going through about to end it, I started to stalk his ex-girlfriend, because a lot of times you talk shit about her, which is completely disrespectful, by the way. Like, and I didn't agree with that.
Yeah.
So then one day I'm going to get my nails done, and I see this girl sitting there getting her nails done, and I literally, with a smile, thinking that girl's my friend, start to walk towards her, and I'm like, oh my god, hi. And then suddenly, as I see her face go like in a weird like, huh? Something in my brain go, oh my god, like abort, you don't know her. So I literally then like changed my face and then walked past her to a wall.
Smooth.
Just stand in the corner, like
Smooth.
disciplining yourself. For
You're
even
like, oh
thinking
yeah,
that was the best
She
idea.
sees a ghost in the corner. We're gonna
And
go
I
there.
just grabbed my phone. I'm like, yep, hey, what's up?
Imagine
classic
seeing
fake.
a girl say hi to you, walk to a corner, just stand and face the wall on the.
She doesn't even have a phone. She uses a finger phone. She's like, oh,
realized-
sorry. Yeah, I'll call you right back. The numbers look good.
Oh my
Yeah, close the deal.
god!
I just was like, because that's how much I like stalked this girl, thinking she's like my friend and I wanted the best for her. Like I realized she wasn't even my friend.
That is
Oh,
the
that is
problem
the
with
funniest
social
thing.
media today, because I will do the same thing. I will look at a person's profile for so long, and then I'll see them in person. Like the other day, I was at the gym. I see this Instagram model, which she has an incredible body. I'm always looking at her page. She's so pretty. And I go up to her while she's mid-workout. I'm like, what's up? My name is Sistine. Like, and she's like, hi. And I was like, oh, so sorry.
But
Like,
I hate when girls
interrupting.
are not nice. Like I feel
I
like
agree
that
with
bothers me when a girl's like, okay, so like I've had those
Yeah,
instances,
yeah.
and I'm like, why do you have to be so mean?
rude.
Like I'm a fan of yours.
I know.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like
So
your
a girl
ass.
coming
I
up to you
like
and
your
saying,
ass.
"Hey," isn't like a sign of threat. She's not coming up going like, "Nice workout," like bitch. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
I
not,
said your outfit looks cute, and she's like, it's so hot out. I'm like, what?
Maybe she was
Okay.
flustered.
Well, she probably doesn't have a personality. Maybe that's what.
There
Okay.
we go. Well, at
Possibly.
least your offense says you get to stalk girls. I get blocked by every guy that I stalk because I
How did they know?
because
Well, say the names.
I'm not gonna say any names.
No.
Oh, I'll
the
say
names
like
of your account.
I had like Cherry Stevens. I had
Remington.
Remington. We
This
used
is
to.
how crazy we are.
used to watch-
My ex would do a live stream with his 200 followers. I don't know why he would be on live
That's the
stream.
problem. All the guys we go out with are like they have a
And-
couple hundred followers, so
and-
they could easily see if some like creep.
So we have
is watching their
Remington.
stuff.
We have Remington commenting nonstop.
on her and exes.
And he'll give
and
Remington a shout out.
Yeah. Well, now
Nice.
if he watches this, he definitely. Hey, friend.
I'm Remington.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, no, I end up just kind of fucking up because I'll watch the story too many times and then I'll get blocked and then I get so embarrassed because I'm like, they caught me and then I delete it and then I remake one. But
Yeah.
I had to start fresh because I can't keep doing it over
So
and over.
new
It's really
account, new
toxic.
accounts.
Yeah, the
popping
guys
up.
I date now, like especially this year, have all been guys who are not in that like entertainment. So they all have like a 100 followers, 200 followers. But like if anything, I feel like it's made my life easier because then when we quote unquote break up, I can just unfollow them and they're private. So like I have no
Right.
choice but to get over them because I can't creepily, like they know my fences
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So I can't just randomly follow them because they'll know they're not gonna add me.
How many fences do you have?
No, I just have one. But
Oh,
like if I
okay.
change the name and stuff, I'm not gonna say it. I mean, if I say the name of it, then I have to
Right.
change it. And I really like the name. So
Okay, keep it. Do you have any followers on it? It's just 0.
like my mom and like a few close friends.
So it
I have
doesn't
like
look
30
su-
friends on it.
Oh, okay,
Not too
so that's good.
suspicious.
Yeah, like
Mine was zero photos, zero.
That's creepy. That is
no,
creepy.
but I have this sexy, like, cute girl as my picture. That's
That
not
was
me.
mine. Mine
And
had
sometimes I
redhead.
get DMs from guys being like, "Hey, cute."
No, I had a girl with cherry. She had like this beautiful red hair,
Cherry
like
red hair.
glasses, and I literally get DMs from people. I'm like, this is really also. Why would you say like hi to someone that has absolutely no following, absolutely no photos?
I think
no
that
followers.
there's no shame in stalking, and I hate when people judge you for it. Like, why is it a bad thing?
Because I guarantee the guys looking at your profile just the same. And
I
feel
kind of
like if
wish
it's-
sometimes Instagram didn't exist at all because I really just don't want to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to know where they are.
That's
who
what I
they're
loved
dating.
about Facebook. Like when you have Facebook when you're younger, if you block somebody, it blocks you from their account too. I mean, unless Instagram has changed at this point, but like it blocks you. Like I remember years ago, like my first boyfriend when I was 17 and we have Facebook, I blocked him in order for it wasn't about him not seeing my stuff, it was about me not seeing his stuff. So once I blocked him, like I couldn't see anything. I feel like with Instagram now it's different. Like if I block you, you can't see my stuff. And it's like, no, I want you to see my shit. I want you to cry about it.
Right.
I just don't want to see your stuff.
I never want guys to not stalk me because I feel like every time I get a breakup, I almost glow up 10 times more because I'm trying way harder to be like great on Instagram, even though my life's like falling apart behind
I
the
think we
scenes.
should bring back Facebook. There was no
Yeah.
better feeling. Me in middle school getting a little message notification from a boy and they're trying to like talk to you. And
Oh, yeah,
that was
I
the
know.
cutest thing.
It's
Like
so sweet.
AIM or Ask FM.
I don't even know how to use Facebook anymore.
I know.
I don't
Well, I
have-
keep
I
getting
mean,
I keep getting
you
mine
get hacked.
disabled because someone says that they're impersonating or I'm impersonating me. And it's someone from Iran keeps reporting me.
It's the same one.
The same person.
Same person. Just one person. He
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
has like a fake account of you and just doesn't want you to exist. But that's great.
It's a bummer. Okay, so I think that we should wrap up the episode. Just leaving someone with just a little bit of something that could take away because I don't know if anyone learned anything.
Yeah, do you have any
or
like
not.
breakup final advice for girls that are going through it
Yeah.
or are thinking about it?
Okay, final advice if you're going through a breakup would be to delete his number. If you need to block him, that's what you need to do for yourself. Don't think about how he's feeling.
Amen.
And if you're trying, let's say you're going through a breakup and your mindset is to get him back, the best way to get him back is by silence. That's what people don't get. It's not about
Yes.
begging for him back. It's not about being like, hey, like, did you see the weather today? No. Keep your mouth shut for 2 months. I'm not kidding.
Absolutely.
It's a 2-month rule. You keep your mouth shut, and the guy starts to wonder after a month, minimum, 2 months maximum. If after 2 months you don't hear from him, he just never gave a fuck about you, and that's okay. Just keep going, move on, because he moved on.
True.
But after 2 months, he's going to be wondering, what are you up to? Don't post sad quotes. That's really pathetic. It's not. I'm just saying
So true.
that's what
It's
men
true.
think. I'm not saying it's pathetic for you. Like I love sad quotes, but men look at it and they're like, "Ha, she's hurting," and
Right.
it makes them feel good. Don't continue your life as if nothing ever happened, and it's gonna make them wonder if you ever even cared about them. Even if they dump you, the minute you're just like, "All right," and you just keep going, you don't give them a whole like essay about why you guys should have been together. Like forget
Yeah.
that. Just say okay, accept it, and even though if you're crying every night, do it. Cry,
Yeah.
but there's no way he should know about it. So when he's seeing it from
100%.
outside, it looks like you're posting the same way as if everything's fine. You're not reaching out to him because you deleted his number, and he's gonna want you back. And hopefully by the time 2 months pass, you're not even gonna want him at this point because they always come back when you're already over them.
Yep.
Silence
That was the best.
drives a man crazy.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate killer.
There's a saying, or maybe I said the saying, I forget, but there's a saying that says, or I say this, is that what was it? Fuck, I forgot.
Is it something like no
like
words
distance
is
makes the heart grow fonder?
no, it's
No.
almost like no words are the best words.
If you want to teach a man
spoken.
something about like if you want to teach a man a lesson, then actions don't teach a man. It's silence that teaches a man. Something like
Something
that.
like
I forgot
that.
what it
Okay.
was.
I love that.
But
anyway,
yeah,
Quote Violet
absolutely.
Benson. That is the daddy issues quote right there.
yeah.
We're pointing you
Well,
on that.
thank you very
Thank you
much,
so
Violet,
much.
for coming on our
You guys
first
did
episode.
so good.
Really?
I'm so jealous of this episode. I'm gonna steal it.
Steal it.
Steal it. Come on ours again because you honestly are. You exceeded my expectation.
You're
'cause
so
you're so
sweet.
sweet.
I get that so much. Thank you. I'm kidding.
No,
No,
wait, by the way,
really,
we
like,
sometimes get
you're-
that too.
you're
People think
very-
we're gonna be.
You're
like,
very easy to talk to. You're so
Aw.
nice. Like,
honestly,
you know, you always have like an expectation when you're about to meet someone for the first time, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's really nice when people kind of just like exceed that. Do you know what I mean?
Aw, you guys are too
And
nice.
thanks for being on our
No.
first episode of our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Violet.
Do you want
Okay.
to put in your plug or anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just for.
You guys, don't forget to check out my personal Instagram, which is Violet Benson, my meme account, which is daddyissues_, and then my podcast, Too Tired to Be Crazy, is on every Thursday. We're on Instagram, and we're also on every channel that you can listen to it. It's from a bunch of fun guests, like these two sisters are going to be on my podcast too. Ooh. And it's also just like solo episodes of teaching you how to love yourself, how to be a boss-ass bitch at work, and blah, blah, blah. So check it out. I love you guys, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
From all of us here at the show, thanks for staying unwaxed.
No, Kelly Clarkson!
Be sure to download new episodes every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or PodcastOne.com. Follow your hosts at Sophia Stallone and at Sistine Stallone. And be sure to follow the show at Unwaxed Podcast. Your producer is Will Sterling. We'll see you next week.